Law enforcement officers typically strive to keep us safe. But as these dashcam videos reveal, there are even situations that even they can't always foresee. On a blistering summer day in Los Angeles, during a police stop, a man was acting suspiciously for questioning. The man, who identifies himself as Robert Smith, provides a plausible explanation for his presence.
Okay, do you have any form of identification on you?
No, man.
What's your name?
Robert Jones.
Robert Jones?
Uh-huh.
Now, what's your address?
I don't have an address. I'm at the hotel. We're working on houses and stuff like that, the roofing.
He claims to be working for his brother's roofing business and staying at a nearby hotel. Despite the extreme heat of 113 degrees, this man insists on jogging 12 miles every day. But this officer, he has doubts.
Where from?
Prison.
And contacts dispatch to verify Smith's identity. He compares various features such as eye color, tattoos, and facial hair with those of a known fugitive.
You know the bad thing about it?
What's that?
You'll match it up to him.
Well, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And despite finding several similarities, the officer is convinced by Smith's story and allows him to continue on his way.
Yeah, I'm not no curious and escaping.
You'd have done run by now. You know that yourself. You'd have done run by now.
No.
Later on, it is revealed that Robert Smith was actually Richard Lee McNair, the very fugitive the officer was seeking. McNair was a notorious escape artist who had previously escaped prison twice, including once by mailing himself out in a box, which was eventually recaptured. I didn't even think it was possible for people to escape prisons in the modern day. Well, he is now serving a life sentence for a murder committed with a firearm.
Do you have any form of identification on you?
No, man.
What's your name?
Robert Jones.
What's your address?
I don't have an address. I'm at the hotel. We're working on houses and stuff like that, the roofing.
Roofing?
Yep.
Okay.
For my brother.
What is, we got an escapee.
Oh. Where from?
Prison.
There's a prison here?
Hey, this is Carl. Subject wear glasses? Nothing about glasses. How old is your guy? You're how old?
50. I was born in 56.
You said born in 56. 58. Any kind of details you can give me, huh? What eyes you got?
Green? Well, kind of a turquoise blue.
Turquoise blue. You want to give me some more? Yeah, I know. I got the same thing. You can't see shit on it. Let me just verify. He says his brother's staying at the motel. Let me verify that. And if so, I'll just cut him loose.
I guarantee I'm not no.
You know the bad thing about it?
What's that?
You'll match it up to him.
Come on.
Where are you staying at?
That Titus Field or Titus Inn? Titus Inn? Little old.
Where's that at?
I don't even know the address. We just got into town about a week ago, and he dropped me off to jog. I always jog about 12 miles a day.
Who y'all work for?
It's his
I know. What's the name of the company?
Fields Roofing.
Did you go through a briar patch or something?
Well, yeah, roofing. I always roof in shorts and cut my scratching up on.
That's why your knees are all cut up.
Yeah.
And what's your name again?
Jimmy Jones.
What's your name?
Robert Jones. Jimmy Jones.
Put yourself in my position.
Well, yeah, but I'm not. Prison escapee.
Hey, you wouldn't believe what them guys do. I mean, they got years and years to think about how they're going to do it.
I'm sorry to have to hold you up, but.
Hey, no, I'm just doing my job, man. If you do jog again in the future, carry some ID with you.
See, I don't, and I'm sorry. When I was in the military, we never carried our ID on bases. Can you write down your phone number, your cell phone number, so I can have whoever calls you?
Just call. You got a cell phone with you?
No, hell no. I don't even have a cell phone or anything.
Just call 911 is all you got to do, and they'll get a hold of us.
All right, have a good day now.
Be careful, buddy.
In Louisville, Kentucky, a routine traffic stop at 3:30 a.m. took an unexpected turn when officers heard a faint scream coming from the trunk of the vehicle they had just pulled over. So they had their guns drawn. They opened the trunk and they found a man that was bound and helpless. The man was identified as Sean Blomer, and he shared his experience with the officers. He said while working the night shift at a Circle K, he was attacked by 4 violent individuals who just randomly targeted him. They assaulted him severely and then locked him in the trunk of his own damn car. And by the time the police intervened, Sean had been confined for about 4 hours and he was barely conscious in there. It was crazy to imagine how easily this type of shit could have happened to anyone and what might have occurred if the police had not stepped in. Dashcam footage from Gautier captures an astonishing moment when a police officer encounters an unexpected event. As ominous clouds gather overhead, a brilliant lightning bolt suddenly strikes less than a quarter mile away. The intensity of the flash is so overwhelming that the officer almost loses his vision. He pulls over and investigates the source of the strike, finding a piece of smoldering concrete, still emitting smoke. What kind of intrigues me is why this lightning strike appeared to ignite a fire. I've seen other dashcam videos of lightning strikes, and they didn't result in fire, since the lightning didn't hit any power lines or generators. I'm just curious about what could have caused this phenomenon. Maybe the ground, maybe the grass was the cause of it. If you have any insights into this, I'd love to hear them. While patrolling the highway one afternoon in Newcastle, Oklahoma, a police officer notices a profound stillness in the air. Everything is eerily quiet, with no birds chirping and no breeze stirring. As the skies grow darker and rain begins to fall, this man realizes a tornado is forming and he's just too close to escape. With little choice, he parks his vehicle and prepares for the worst.
If you need me to. Affirmative, we got debris, appears to be Country Club, and Highway 37, lots of debris, got power flashes.
As it devastates this building just to his right, his radio crackles with urgent reports of downed power lines and scattered debris as this tornado tears through the town. So this officer just decides to follow the storm's path, trying to aid survivors in any way that he can. And by the time the storm dies down, the damage left is extensive and many lives have been tragically lost. In December 2017, just a week before Christmas, a man went on a spree impersonating an officer, pulling over several innocent drivers. His vehicle was outfitted with fake police lights. And this fool even had a dash cam that captured all of his disturbing actions. The person on the hood had no idea they were being stopped, searched, and handcuffed by someone who actually wasn't a cop. They were at the mercy of a complete stranger.
Copy, I'll look at it, thanks. 1629.
Authorities in Tucson, Arizona have never disclosed what happened to the man after this, but it appears he was led into the back of this impersonator's vehicle with his hands still cuffed. It's chilling to think about what could have happened next, and I can only hope for this man's safety. Why don't we know more about this case? While patrolling Spooner, Wisconsin, Officer Adam Brunswick makes a shocking discovery. He spots a child in a yellow shopping cart racing out of the Dollar General parking lot and heading straight towards this busy street. And realizing that there's no safe way to stop the cart before it hits the road, he quickly turns on his emergency lights and positions his vehicle in the middle of the highway to block the traffic. And without hesitation, Officer Brunswick runs to the cart and rescues the child before any harm can occur. The kid's mother later explains that she was in the process of putting her other kid in the car when the cart, with her infant inside, rolled away on its own. Overwhelmed with emotion, she struggles to express her gratitude for the officer's life-saving intervention. This dashcam footage captures a grave and emotional exchange between the police officer and the man facing the consequences of a tragic mistake.
I hate to tell you, but I checked you going 116 the other way, and I turned around and I was trying to catch you. That's going to weigh on me that I didn't catch you before it happened.
Wait, man, I killed somebody.
Yeah.
On New Year's Eve in Canadian County, Oklahoma, an intoxicated driver speeding over 100 miles per hour caused the deaths of 2 innocent people. Craig Maker is now facing 2 severe felony charges that could result in a life sentence. This arrest marks his fifth DUI offense. Though he has not yet been sentenced, his deep remorse is clearly evident in the footage.
Front.
Roger.
Alright, you let me know
you guys, as soon as I know where the driveway is, on the south side, north side of this road, we'll pull out of here to just get some protection from this heat. Over.
We have dashcam footage from a fire truck in Australia facing a dire situation. The area is devastated by wildfires, and the crew is trapped with flames closing in from all sides. Exiting the vehicle is impossible, so they're forced to press on through the inferno.
The windows. Alright, let's keep deep breathing and we'll just take it slow. I don't think we've got far to go, probably not.
Every direction is engulfed in flames.
That's a relief.
And the air is so thick with smoke that it's pretty much unbreathable. They're surviving with the help of oxygen tanks alone.
Some oxygen in for the driver, over.
To protect the truck from further damage, they deploy fire curtains.
Drop your fire curtains on the sides, over.
The truck right now is their lifeline. And one firefighter offers grim but motivating words to keep everyone focused.
We're gonna get through this.
As you're gonna get hit with the front, drop your side curtain, just leave the front open.
Watch 38 coming down here.
Fires on the road already.
Jasper, put the blanket up.
Remarkably, they managed to escape the worst of the blaze.
Guys, where we're heading, so...
Although smoke still lingers, the firefighters make it out safely. This footage is truly extraordinary, man. A huge thank you to these brave individuals for sharing their horrifying experience with us. These are the things that need to be documented. While flying 1,000 feet above the Bristol Channel, a police helicopter in South Wales detects an unusual spherical object through its thermal camera. The pilot immediately reports this odd sighting to ground control. but the radar fails to identify anything matching that description. It soon becomes apparent that the sphere is not visible to the pilot with the naked eye, and it seems only the thermal cameras can detect it. It raises questions about whether it's a malfunction with the camera or if this is an object that has some kind of advanced cloaking technology. The situation becomes even more mysterious when the pilot zooms in on the sphere, which then seems to transform into what might be a free-floating vortex. Yo, if this is a portal or something, the possibilities of what lies beyond it are huge. While on neighborhood patrol in Hamilton Township, New Jersey, a police officer witnessed a sudden streak of bright white light cutting across the sky. This glowing fireball was also spotted by numerous residents in the area. It seems to me that there's been a noticeable rise in meteor sightings lately. What this could signify, if anything, is open to interpretation. While conducting speed checks from the median in Pinellas County, Florida, a deputy is alarmed when an aircraft flies dangerously close overhead. The plane's erratic flight path clearly shows that the pilot has lost control. A second deputy's dashcam captures footage of the plane as it crashes toward the ground. The officers rush to the crash site and find a path littered with fallen trees and wreckage just scattered across the road. They quickly close off the area and request emergency medical assistance.
Dashcam video shows the crash of a small plane in Florida. Watch your screen as it comes down. 2 deputies responded to a call for an unrelated incident yesterday morning. Look at that close call. That's when this single-engine plane just seemed to drop out of the sky.
A New Jersey police officer is making a routine traffic stop late at night on a poorly lit road. He starts to head back towards his car to run the license, but then he spots something out of the corner of his eye and demonstrates some impressive reflexes.
Copy.
The officer skillfully rolls away from the moving car just in time to avoid being flattened. I'm really surprised the officer was able to react so quickly with a belt full of heavy equipment. But then again, his adrenaline definitely kicked in before he even fully knew what was going on. Props to this officer for having such a fast reaction time. And hopefully the city puts up some street lights for better visibility on this road in the future.
Hey, Dan, you just put a call in for removal.
Copy. Copy.
When an alert officer in Glen Heights, Texas, gets a call about a burning car, he quickly takes action. The vehicle is dangerously close to a nearby restaurant, so he responds with urgency, risking his own safety. He maneuvers the burning car into the parking lot, away from the building. This car could have exploded at any moment, showering him with flames and hot debris.
22. I have pushed the truck away from the building. I'm not sure if the structure's actually caught in fire, but the truck is in the parking lot now.
This police dashcam footage was recorded in a tranquil neighborhood in South Jersey, where officers and gas line workers were urgently searching for a reported gas leak. Unfortunately, their efforts fell short, leading to a devastating event. This explosion affected 15 people, and what makes this chilling is that this incident took place in a seemingly ordinary neighborhood.
A tractor trailer hit this porch. That's how much the house shook.
15 people, including 6 firefighters and 7 gas company employees, are among the injured. Approximately 75 homes in the area had been evacuated after some residents complained of a gas odor. Gas crews were called to the scene to investigate, and at some point during the investigation, the explosion occurred. Authorities say nothing at the home remains except a block basement.
A woman comes across a group of men illegally disposing of trash by the roadside, blocking her path. And noticing the dash cam, the men were pissed, but the woman manages to escape from the scene unharmed. If they had caught her, this situation could have turned dangerous.
This is fine. It's fine.
God's sake!
Alright, you guys have heard about the recent UFO sightings in Las Vegas. Apparently, many believe that the men in black were involved in regards with covering it up. But who are these mysterious government agents, and what do they have to do with extraterrestrial activity? In this video, we're going to look over the news and see what's really going on, and see if the men in black have their connections to the UFO sightings.
Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey. If those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
Talked before, we didn't know a bunch of this other stuff, like the broken leg that was hanging in an awkward position and the eyelashes, and we took video, yet no one has seen the video. This business about police coming to the house afterwards with details like 2 sergeants, a couple of investigators asking to set up cameras, and then the cops say, no, we never did go back.
It is one of the most bizarre cases, not the most bizarre that I've investigated. You summarize it very well. It starts out with some corroborating evidence. You have a 911 call. You have police taking the family seriously. In fact, I think they would still tell you today that most of them felt they were telling the truth. They seemed legitimately frightened. But when you start digging into it, you know, they start to have some inconsistencies. They told George Knapp, local Vegas reporter, that they had video, which you said, of course, you know, was never mentioned in the beginning. The footprints, you don't think to take, you know, photos of those, and it starts to kind of unravel, and then all of a sudden the family stops responding. Now, the media has descended. They found the location. They're, I'm sure, getting bombarded, and it's natural. Maybe you'd want to go into hiding, but at this point, you'd also hope they'd want to just kind of clear the air once and for all. And you know, it's very odd because we've looked at it every angle we possibly can, except for maybe doing voice stress analysis. When you played the 911 tape, I was thinking maybe we should do that too.
I'm a little disconcerted with the family said police.
So apparently police came through and set up cameras at these people's houses. They were reported missing, and then now they're back on lockdown, according to this one right here.
That the family said police came a couple days later and did this whole investigation, and the Metro Vegas police have said, no, we didn't. Can you tell me if you've investigated or reported on or witnessed any other incidents of these strange, you know, X-Files like incidents where people arrive to investigate that apparently don't exist?
I do think that's kind of, you know, more in the realm of conspiracy. However, they had photos supposedly, and they released photos of the police being there. That should be easy to verify, but our sources are telling us nothing officially. No one officially went out to follow up. And so if it's not them, and they're seeing these SUVs driving around blacked out, you know, it could be other people, media, onlookers, you know, just trying to figure out what's happened. But I would say it's a very unlikely situation that we have like a shadow agency there.
Mark Berry is a retired Las Vegas Metro police officer who's also been working with Ben on investigating this case. So Mark, you're the perfect person to ask about this piece that involves the so-called, you know, Metro Vegas police going to the house days after this crash. A couple of sergeants, a couple of investigators, the family reports, and they didn't exist. The Metro Police are saying we didn't. Do we believe the Metro Police when they say they didn't? Or do we think that somebody did show up dressed as them?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Metro's a great organization. Their officers are some of the most finely trained officers in the world. And, you know, they handled it, in my book, they pretty much did what they could as patrol officers. You know, the fact that the family said some sergeants came in afterwards and put up cameras, that's not protocol in any kind of unit within the department. We're not going to do that. Basically, when you show up on scene, once you gain that real estate, you're not going to give it up. So if you need to call in, they're there to look and get to the bottom of it as fast as they can. And they did go out back. They did see some, I guess you could call it evidence, but, you know, I also have dove into this a little bit besides talking to the officers involved. You know, I used some of my air assets and were able to look out in the back of the yard and see the circular impressions that they were talking about. And in that backyard, there's a number of trailers, a number of flatbeds, and the circular impressions are very indicative.
You also spent some time staked out. Like, you staked out to see if you could get a read on this family. The family has ghosted everybody. They're not responding to interviewers that they made appointments with. They're not responding to telephone calls. I don't even know if they're in the house anymore. But what was your read when you were parked out front for hours and hours?
Yeah, so I'll admit, I drive a black SUV.
Okay, there you go. We can explain the black SUVs away now.
I do not wear black government-issued sunglasses, so there's a little difference there. I have talked to some of the neighbors. I have been able to confirm noise, the big giant boom that the Ring camera had caught at one part of the valley. But there's some more issues with the backyard. Again, I don't want to discount what they're saying, but the house has been dark. There has been no movement in and out other than onlookers going, you know, by the house real slow, taking pictures. As far as movement in the house itself or in the rear, the backyard, or even in the trailers, it's been dark. And it's been dark for the last few days. So I'm sure that they may have left town. But, you know, I don't know. They may just be laying low.
And Mark, I'll tell you, you know, there's a perfectly good explanation. They're freaking out over all this attention, and so they am sprayed, or, as others would say, they've been taken by the government and they're being hidden away and interrogated. I mean, this is what the internet's lighting up about.
But the police are saying that they never went back to the house and never set up any cameras. So if the police didn't set any cameras up, but the family's saying police did come through and set up the cameras, it seems like this is another classic case of the Men in Black. Not the movies, but the real Men in Black. The real life government agents who work in secret to keep any data related to alien encounters and UFOs under wraps from the general public. I honestly think they cover anything paranormal. But there are many tales of sightings of these agents and people who claim to have had direct contact with them in the past. It suggests that these individuals are portrayed similarly to government agents. Dating back to 1947, in Maury Island, Washington, Harold Dahl and Fred Chrisman, two fishermen, reported seeing 6 flying saucers dropping molten waste into a lake. Afterward, Dahl was visited by a mysterious man dressed in black, who warned him not to speak about the incident. That's the Men in Black. Air Force agents collected information about the sighting. Dahl later claimed that its initial denial of the incident was made under pressure. Of course, don't speak about it, don't talk about it. There was another incident in 1976 with Dr. Herbert Hopkins, a UFO consultant, received a call from an anonymous UFO activist and was later visited by a man in black. Because they're tapping the phones, this man accurately guessed the contents of Hopkins' pocket and made a coin disappear. He warned Hopkins to destroy all information given by the activist and any related research. Now, this guy's a doctor saying this. I'm not saying that makes him, So this is also in relation to what the Men in Black could be. They're sometimes depicted as government agents, and they are also depicted as possibly agents belonging to another alien race, to make sure to keep the suppression of the information of extraterrestrial beings or UFOs down. Another example was Jim Templeton in 1964. While taking a photograph of his daughter in a field near Solway Firth in the UK, he captured an image of a strange figure in a spacesuit standing behind her. 2 men in black later visited him, demanding to see the location of the photograph. When Templeton claimed not to have seen the figure in real life, the agents grew hostile and left. The photo was also verified by Kodak. This makes no sense. These people are being reported about across the globe. And then one in more recent times, 2012, in Niagara Falls, Canada, surveillance footage from a Canadian hotel lobby shows 2 tall, identical men in black who demanded to speak with the hotel manager after hearing about a UFO sighting he had reported. They engaged in discussion about government conspiracies. This footage is considered one of the most conclusive pieces of evidence related to the existence of Men in Black. These encounters typically involve intimidation, warnings to destroy evidence, and references to government involvement in UFO cover-ups, contributing to this lore of the Men in Black. I personally believe that these guys exist. I also believe that they could be brainwashed. I don't know if they're an alien, an alien suit. I believe these are human suits. These are human government agents. And they're just moving like they have duties. But if this is true, man, what does this mean for the family? Why were they declared missing and then now they're declared and now on lockdown in their house with cameras put up by the government? This is strange. This is strange, everyone. I'm gonna keep looking into this, but thank you for coming back to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll keep you guys updated. Be safe, everyone. Of Security 1275, who had been recounting his unnerving encounters during his night shifts as a security guard at a cemetery in Georgia. The events he witnessed have been nothing short of chilling. The story began with a seemingly random video he uploaded, in which he captured some unusual infrared activity. It appeared as though something or someone was present with him inside the building.
So, I'm actually hearing something banging on the door. I'm hoping I'm gonna catch this son of a bitch. Bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm back. Door was open again. Hello, security!
Following that initial encounter, Josh, the security guard, shared another video. In this footage, he is seen conducting a routine inspection when something extraordinarily strange occurred later that night.
Hey, kid! Kid! I don't know where he went. This kid running from me. Kid! Holy God. Where went?
This was far from an ordinary security encounter. The child Josh saw acted strangely, refusing to turn around and continuing to walk away until he mysteriously disappeared without a trace. Unsure of how to respond, Josh decided to let the bizarre incident pass, though it left him deeply puzzled. The whereabouts of the child remained a mystery, but what Josh did not realize was that the night was only going to get stranger from there.
I will not be going down that way. We just took this job like 2 days ago through the city. This is ridiculous. Somebody has definitely been walking behind me. I'm not sure. I just saw some tourists from Ohio, told them that the place closes at 10. I'm about to head back over there, but I don't know. We've got somebody that's going to be buried here tomorrow, so I'll be doing an escort. Right now, I'm just...
At the time, Josh didn't notice the strange shadow, but one of his viewers later pointed it out, and the boy from earlier was still unaccounted for. Yet it seemed doubtful that he was connected to the shadowy figure. Could this have been a ghost, or was this simply an intruder? Fast forward a few nights, and Josh returned with another update, which continues this mystery.
Okay, I've got my taser out now, y'all, just to be aware. Jesus Christ.
That night rattled Josh enough that he decided to take a break from documenting the strange occurrences for a few days. However, he couldn't stay away for long. On one particular night, he felt compelled to start recording again after being asked to check on a younger, newer officer who had suddenly stopped responding to his calls.
I can't get him to answer the phone. So this is a good time. If you see anything, this would be a good little video because I had no intentions of coming out here. I went up and checked on the other side, and I just don't know where the hell he's at, and he's not answering his phone. So I hope whatever was messing with me in my older videos did not get him. I was actually just going to come by and check on him, make sure he was 10-4. But a funny story is, he said that he had PD out here earlier because he saw what looked to be a little girl was in the hallway when he drove by. When he went back, he didn't find anybody.
It was undeniably odd, but since his co-worker's camera failed to capture any evidence, some suggested it could have been a case of paranoia or an overactive imagination. I mean, after all, it wouldn't be too surprising if nerves played a role here. Moving ahead a few days, Josh posted another update, continuing to document the strange events with new footage.
What is going on? I'm basically just securing all this stuff right now. Just making sure there's nobody in here. Anybody in here? Hello? Yeah, but listen, you got to get out of here. You're gonna have to come talk to me, okay? Where you at? I can't see you. You're correct, so you need to come out, okay? You guys hear this? This is broad daylight. I don't know where this kid is. Where are you?
The situation had become so bizarre that Josh decided to file a police report. Unsure whether it was a case of elaborate pranks or something more sinister, a police officer came to investigate based on Josh's account and managed to capture some of the strange occurrences on his body camera. Unfortunately, this footage has yet to be released to the public.
So what is up, you guys? So my security officer that I'm supposed to have here tonight, he came in and turned everything in today. He quit. So I'm actually hearing something banging on the door. I'm hoping I'm gonna catch this son of a bitch. Bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm back. Door was open again. Hello, security. Okay. I don't know how they keep opening these. Hello. Yeah. Hey, you need to come out. I'm not playing anymore. I don't know where these people are or where. Jesus Christ. All right, guys. There was somebody standing in the corner. I just saw that when my video uploaded, and what? The lights are flickering on and off. Hang on a second, guys. So, don't know what's going on here, but I'm about to check this out. Okay, guys. I'm really not sure what's going on here. Nope. Yeah, I'm done. This is some spooky going on here. Nope. This is why my security officer quit. Just so y'all can be witness here, I'm checking out. I'm getting here. This is my day off. I hear leaves crickling. Nope. There was a kid standing. Somebody was standing right over here when I walked right past them to the left. So what is going on, you guys? I hightailed it out of there. Don't know what that was. There was absolutely no switches in that place to turn lights on. Don't know why they were flickering. So right now I'm at the Jim Williams house.
And after this unsettling period, Josh took a break from posting updates on the strange occurrences, likely needing a break from the growing tension. Despite the pause, he eventually felt compelled to share his latest findings, revealing what he had experienced.
There is a red truck out here. And the chapel lights just came on. Hello? Hey, look, if you're just out here with me, you're fixing to end up in jail, you understand? So where are you? Nope, I'm getting out of here. I'm done with it, man. Nope. Hell to the no. Somebody's out here with me, or this is some scary. I ain't doing this garbage no more.
And so concludes Josh's chilling series of paranormal encounters at the cemetery he works at. Rumors suggest he either left the job shortly or grew disillusioned with fabricating the footage. Regardless of the truth, his story remains one of the most notorious examples of unsettling security footage. Let's revisit the case of security officer Tim S.A., who, after beginning a night shift at a new job, encountered some truly unusual events at his workplace. The storage facilities he was tasked with patrolling appeared to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. The reason behind this is unclear, but this was one of the first bizarre incidents Tim managed to capture on his phone. A pair of pale feet appears in the footage, which is particularly intriguing because Tim initially didn't notice them. It wasn't until he reviewed the footage and focused on the area that the feet became visible. This unsettling discovery left Tim deeply shaken, prompting him to increase his recording efforts as similar encounters continued to occur. On one occasion, a chilling roar resonated throughout the hallways, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Soon after, a locked door began to swing open by itself, further intensifying the eerie events there. This unexplained phenomenon became Tim's unsettling reality, and driven by curiosity, he ventured into an abandoned warehouse brimming with neglected items. It was in this setting that the paranormal activity escalated significantly.
Whoa!
A mannequin suddenly toppled to the ground, accompanied by the sounds of shattering glass. The air grew dense with the echo of a woman's scream and another bone-chilling roar.
Whoa! Hello? Who's there? Hello?
Many believe that Tim was confronting something demonic in the facility, making the situation increasingly dangerous for him. It was evident that something was lurking at the end of the hallway, and according to Tim's accounts, it was far from human.
Hello?
He appears to have recorded the arms and hands of a shadowy entity that seemed to belong to another realm, and terrified by the experience, he decided to resign from this, unable to endure the constant fear of patrolling these grounds any longer. A decision that's completely understandable. In his final hours at the haunted facility, Tim documented his last shift, eager to leave the terrifying ordeal behind. However, it seemed that whatever haunted these storage rooms was determined to ensure he would never forget his unsettling experience. In the corner of the room, a woman's silhouette emerged with startling clarity, her gaze fixed intently on Tim, and the recording, it suddenly cut off, leaving the situation unresolved. The fate of Tim and the true nature of its experiences remains a complete mystery. The full story of this may forever remain unknown, and the final judgment is left up to you guys. Examine this footage captured by security cameras at the police station in Carabobo, Venezuela. Officers report that over the past few nights, an enigmatic figure has been spotted wandering around the station's parking lot.
Cuando el carro pasa, es que se ve parado ahí.
De repente, marico. Mira, pasa el perro a aquel lado.
Pasó el perro. Mira, ve, mira, ¿viste? Mira, ve, ¿viste?
No, marico, salió de ahí exactamente. Desde la mitad de aquí de la
De la mitad, eso, de ahí apareció.
Va pasando el... Mira, ahí está hablando con Valdespino, Valdespino.
Marico, yo, escucha cómo me quedo yo ahí, marico, yo me quedo en show, mira cómo ando yo, No, pero sí se ve como un vestido, Yo hago sombra, marico, Claro, dime tú, todo vestido de blanco está. Oye, mira, se ve con vestido. Mira, marico, se ve con vestido. Vestido de blanco está bueno. Bueno, no recuerdo. Mira cómo le hace la mano, mira. Yo, mira cómo me quedo yo en show, mano, porque no le veo la cara. Yo llamo al Despino como para que me acompañe, Cuando volteo yo está. Mira, ahí volteo yo para llamar al Despino.
What's interesting is that the security guard conducting these checks on these nights sees nothing unusual, leading many to speculate that the phenomenon might be of a paranormal nature. Like, what other explanation could there be for this bizarre occurrence? This video was captured and shared by a security guard who believes he recorded something mysterious during his patrol of an office building. The guard reached out to his colleagues, expressing concerns that something felt off that night.
Alright, can you see this thing?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. What's happening with the lights? Because I'm looking
the lights are...
hallway, and I can't see, I literally see nothing.
The lights are off right now. Oh, it just moved.
No, it did not.
It just moved. It just moved.
I just heard a weird noise. Please don't tell me that as you said that.
Dude, it just moved.
In the footage, a shadow is visible on the 4th floor window before it abruptly disappears. This sudden vanishing act raises questions about whether it could have been a human intruder, though the guard himself doubts this explanation. Could it have been a ghostly presence? Or is there another explanation for this? What do you guys think?
The lights, because I'm looking
the lights are.
Hallway, and I can't see, like, I literally see nothing.
The lights are off right now. Oh, it just moved. It just moved.
No, it did not.
It just moved. It just moved.
I just heard a weird noise. Please don't tell me that as you said that.
Dude, it just moved.